MYOB Advanced Construction is a tailor-made solution for the construction industry. It provides a feature set that helps you manage your project finances, stay on top of your compliance, and manage your day-to-day project activities. The moment you log into MYOB Advanced Construction, you're taken to your role-specific dashboard. As I'm logged in as a project manager, I have a dashboard that shows me up-to-date information on the health of all my projects. Within the dashboard, I'm able to see important information such as my actuals against my estimated costs, keep track of the profitability of my projects, giving me the opportunity to intervene and make corrections before it's too late, keep track of variations, and even incorporate data from external sites like a site video feed, giving me a real-time view of my site. I can also view individual projects on a dashboard and stay on top of important KPIs for each one. These are just examples of what information you can show on a dashboard. These dashboards are very configurable, so as long as you have the data, you're able to set up a dashboard for the information most important to you. It's very common for a construction business to have multiple entities within its group. With MYOB Advanced, you can have that whole organization running in a single tenant like this, reducing the need to replicate data across multiple systems. You can create companies each with its own ABN and the ability to report financials and taxes. We can further break down those companies into what we call branches, which can represent your physical offices or regions that you operate in. This structure allows you to have the flexibility to manage your financial information how you want, and also gives you the opportunity to consolidate your financial data at any level. Invoicing can also be done across these companies, so if you're a group that has a separate labor or plant hire entity to support your main construction business, you can easily transact without having to replicate transactions across different systems. Now let's go into the detail of our project process. For many projects, that starts with a project code. A code can be generated in MYOB Advanced Construction from an opportunity in our integrated CRM module. This allows you to better manage your pipeline of work and keep track of all your team's activities to support a sale. To speed up the time it takes to build out a code, you can configure project templates that predefine the structure of your project. The template can also pre-fill your estimates with common items that you'll have on your bill of quantities. In terms of getting your estimated quantities and amounts, you have several ways of doing it. You can then do it manually through the screen, upload it from a file, or even integrate with estimating solutions. As you build out your estimate, you're able to keep track of your overall estimated cost and your revenue, so you're sure that any quote that you send out meets the target margins that you aim for. Once the estimate is complete, you can submit it through email out of the system directly to your customer. Once the quote has been accepted by your customer, you can easily convert it into a project. This one-button action will copy all of the information from the quote, such as its work breakdown structure, its cost and revenue budgets, any files that have been attached, or any activities that have been recorded. This ensures that the handover from your sales team to the project teams is seamless and in perfect sync. Now that we have the project, let's take a look at how that's actually managed. Again, up top, we can see a summary of how the project is tracking financially. This information is updated live as the transactions occur from the different modules within Advanced, so it gives you a real-time visibility on your project's profitability. The Summary tab is where a project manager will be able to change the settings for the project. Again, this is something that can be automated by using project templates. When it comes to billing, Advanced offers a lot of flexibility, so regardless of what type of engagement you have with your customer, whether it's progress billed based on milestone, cost plus, or even time and material, you will be able to automate your claims and bills processing. It can also help you manage the retention being held by your customer for the job. It can work for a fixed retention percentage, or you can set up steps to allow you to define different retention percentages at different progress thresholds. Project task is where we can see the structure of the project. This gets carried over from the code, so there is not a need for you to replicate it on the project itself. This is again fully configurable. You can have it structured like this, where it's broken down according to the specifications of the project that you build your progress against, or you can even set them as milestones or break them down according to the type of expense. Now, independently, each one can have its own billing rule, meaning if you have projects with different billing components that are billed differently, you wouldn't need to create different projects to manage them. The cost budget is where the project manager can manage the estimates for the project and view how the actuals are tracking against them. The original estimates from the quote get copied over as the original budgeted amount, but you're also able to manage changes to the budget, including those that are coming from variations. This ensures that at all times, you're tracking your actuals against the most up-to-date budget for the project. There's also a screen where the project manager can create cost projections. The project manager is able to create multiple versions of the cost projection and change per the actual completion percentage or change the cost to complete to have a better sense of what the final cost at completion for the project is. So even as the project's circumstances continue to change, the project manager will have a sense of how profitable the project is and make corrections where necessary. Now, going back to the project, we can take a look at the opposite side of costs, which is the revenue for our project. On the Revenue Budget tab, you can find all of the billable lines for the project. This is where a project manager or quantity surveyor will also change the progress completion of each of those lines to ready it for billing. As you make claims, you're able to keep track of them on the Invoices tab of the project. If you click into an example of a pro forma invoice, which is the claim that we send out to the customer, we can see that it's broken down to the same level of detail that we have on the revenue budget, meaning we are able to see what the current claim amount is and what has been claimed previously. Once complete, we're able to release this and create the actual tax invoice that's going to be recognized as part of the project's revenue. On the Commitments tab of the project, we can see all of the purchase orders we have to our suppliers and all of the contracts that we have with our subcontractors. Clicking on the document, in this case, a subcontract, takes us to the detail of that document. Again, up top, we can see a summary of the total amount of the contract and allows us to keep track of the retention amount we'll be holding for the subcontractor. On the document details section, we can see a breakdown of the values of the subcontract. These are aligned to the structure of the project as well, so if you have a subcontractor working on different elements of the project, we can easily assign them to the correct cost codes within the project and track them against the correct budgets. On the SC History tab, we can see all of the claims that have been made by our subcontractor. And compliance being such an important part of construction, Advanced allows you to keep track of all the required compliance documents for the job that have been submitted by your subcontractor. Now let's take a look at reports that will help you manage your projects as they're ongoing. We have pre-configured WIP reports, which can be viewed in detail for a specific project, or you can even take a look at a higher level view which shows you your work in progress across several projects. MYOB Advanced comes with a configurable project financial reporting module, allowing you to configure reports to your specific needs. Variations are an almost inevitable part of any project. Within MYOB Advanced, you can opt to use a request process for variations called change requests. Here you can detail the impact to the budgets and to your contracted amount with your customer. From here, you can convert it into a change order that then performs the actual changes to the budgets on your project. If needed, you can also set up an approval process to ensure that internally it's gone through your project manager or your project engineer. The change request itself can also be generated from issues or requests for information. MYOB Advanced comes equipped with construction management tools that help you manage your project. This includes a daily field report that a foreman can manage throughout the day and submit for approval. It's able to keep track of the weather, which helps justify the rest of the information that it's put in there. You can consolidate the time entries by the staff on site, ensuring that you're capturing your correct labor costs accurately. If there are any variations requested during the day, it can be kept tracked on the site diary as well. You can also keep tabs of the hours your subcontractors spent on site, which can tally against their claims that they make. If there are any issues or incidents raised, they can be logged through the site diary as well. This tool can be used through the mobile app as well, so it's not something that needs to be done back in the office. To wrap up, MYOB Advanced makes it very easy for you to keep track of the financial health of your project across its life cycle, stay on top of compliance, and account for all the elements that impact your project.